I now give the floor to Islamic Republic of Iran.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, the regime of Saudi Arabia once again, this time yesterday, by its foreign minister in this august body, chose to play Iran card to conceal its regressive nature, as well as its repeatedly doomed adventurism. However, the evidence of Saudi's ruinous policies cannot be photoshopped out of existence by simply blaming others for their self-inflicted mistakes. The Saudi despots cannot forever conceal their medieval fanaticism from the dark ages by claiming Iran for its repeated failure. Perhaps Saudis should be reminded that it is Saudi who has spent billions of dollars to spread hate and extremism for decades around the world. It was Saudi who has provided billions of dollars of arms and weaponry to ISIS and the affiliated terrorists in Syria, majority of them Saudi citizens. It was Saudi where 15 out of 18 terrorists who committed 9/11 terrorist attacks originated from. It is Saudi that bribes foreign politicians to promote its sectarianism and buy protection for its deeply corrupt system. It has been Saudi who has ruthlessly engaged in silencing all democratic movement and the calls for democracy in our region. It is Saudi who has imposed brutal blockade on its neighboring countries to extort its population. It is Saudi who has waged a full-fledged criminal war against its poorest neighbor, Yemen, while on a daily basis committing war crimes and crimes against humanity. It is Saudi that continues beheading peaceful political opponents and has upgraded its weapon of choices from sword to saw. And it is Saudi whose people are alien forever to human rights, democracy, and voting ballots. Perhaps the memories of Saudi despots have to be refreshed that while Iranians were defending their country against the aggression of Saddam Hussein, it was Saudi who assisted that dictator, and as a result, more than 250,000 Iranians lost their lives. While Iranians were combating Al-Qaeda and other terrorist groups in Afghanistan, it was Saudi that was lavishly funding and arming them. While Iranians were assisting peoples and government of Iraq and Syria to throw ISIS terrorists out of their territories, it was Saudi who was ideologically, logistically, and financially nurturing them. And today, whereas Iranians are calling for regional dialogue to bring back stability to the Persian Gulf region, it is once again Saudis that are insisting on their ill-fated adventurism. So far, the Saudis have succeeded in inducing their Western patrons to go along with their folly, whether in Syria or Yemen, by playing the Iran card. However, we clearly call on Saudis to avoid further miscalculation. The short-sighted tactics of Saudi is based on the fanciful notion that regional instability and plunging the region into further chaos would help them improve their regional posture. However, we clearly call on Saudi to avoid any miscalculation. The corrupt House of Saud has brought nothing but disgrace to the birthplace of Islam. They have turned Hijaz, the land of peace and tolerance, to the fountainhead of extremism and terrorism. Global terrorist movement from 9/11, London, Paris, Madrid to Karachi, Kabul, Baghdad, and Istanbul have incontestable links to the teaching of Saudi-born Wahhabism. Almost all well-known ring leaders are educated with the Saudi-sponsored rigid and unforgiving creed. With its medieval ideology combined with corruption, despotism, and armed with trillions of dollars of the modern warfare, Saudis present a catastrophic threat to the regional and global peace and security. As long as the Saudis continue making wrong choices, as long as the Western countries continue appeasing Saudis for the sake of their arms manufacturing companies, as long as the voices of the people of the holy land of Hijaz remain unheard, more people like Jamal Khashoggi will be butchered. More children like Yemeni kids will lose their lives, and insecurity will continue lingering in our region and beyond. In conclusion, Mr. President, to avert future catastrophes before it becomes too late, Saudis should be stopped of abusing and ridiculing international fora, including United Nations. Saudi war criminals, being a partner in the global fight against terrorism and intolerance, is a blatant mockery of humanity, justice, and peace. I thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of Islamic Republic of Iran.